Michelle with Pink and Maine. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be making some cards with our adorable mugs and kisses, stamps, and dies. This is one of my favorite stamp sets that we released for the holiday season. For our first card, we're making an A2 size card, which is side folding. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 when folded. I have 2 layering panels to go on the front of the card. One is cut slightly smaller than the card front. I used our Be Merry paper pad and picked out a nice stripe. On the white piece of cardstock that I cut 1/2 inch smaller than the stripe paper, I used our swirly stencil and I used our ergonomic blender brush and I just blended the ink in the different sizes of the swirl patterns. So it kind of looks like peppermint candies. So I'm going to glue these down to the card front. Now we have our card front started. I have colored the adorable little reindeer mug that's in the set, and I colored it like Rudolph with a red nose. Thought that would be cute. I stamped the sentiment, sending a cup of good cheer, just cut that. And then I cut a strip of the striped paper, just with this two-tone green, because I'm gonna make that a spot that our sentiment sits on, and then our little mug sits on. And we're gonna use this big red peppermint candy piece here as our focal point for our little reindeer mug. I decided to add some foam adhesive to the back of our little mug so he stands up a little bit off the card. I'm just going to put him at a little bit of an angle here in the center of that peppermint swirl. And here we have our card so far. I've got some of our rainbow pearls and I'm going to add a few just to give finished touches to the card. And here is our finished card. I like that little added sparkle and shine. Our next card, we're using another A2 size card, the side folding, but we're gonna turn it and make it horizontal so it does fold at the top. This time I've cut 2 layering pieces again, but the bottom one is this beautiful green glitter paper from our winter glitter paper pack, and this lovely plaid from the Be Merry paper pad. So I'm gonna glue those down first. When you're gluing paper onto a glitter paper, you want to make sure you use a nice strong adhesive like a liquid glue. I've cut out of white cardstock one of our double-stitched dome dies. These are perfect semicircle shapes that make just the right place to create your scene or to anchor your characters to the card. I've cut a strip of this red paper with stars that's from the Be Merry paper pad, but I'm going to line the top of it with some ribbon. So I'm going to put a little adhesive on the ends of the ribbon that's going to wrap around the back of the paper. And by wrapping it around the back and adhering it to the back of the paper, I save quite a bit of ribbon rather than wrapping it all the way around and tying a bow or a knot. So before I adhere this to the card, I'm going to glue our little dome to the card. And now I'll adhere our strip of paper with the ribbon. I've stamped the sentiment mugs and kisses. I love that, isn't that sweet? And I'm going to put it along the bottom left-hand corner of the card. Over on this side of the ribbon, I'm going to tie just a plain knot. So I'm going to wrap my ribbon up underneath, lay it flat. I'm going to put a dot of adhesive on the top of this ribbon here where I want my knot to sit so it will stay in place. I pull it ever so gently just to get it tight enough, then kind of press it down with my finger to flatten it out a bit. That way it doesn't add too much dimension. Up underneath this other loose part of the ribbon, I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive so that it sticks down to the card just a little better. And now I'm just going to cut these extra ends off the ribbon just at an angle. I don't find often that my ribbon frays at the ends, but if you are worried about it fraying, a little tip is you can take a liquid glue that dries clear and just run it along the end of the ribbon there. And then just rub the excess away gently so you have a thin layer of glue that will dry and hold all the ribbon together at the ends. Now it's time to add our mugs. And aren't they cute? I used the reindeer again and then the Nutcracker. So we're just going to put these on that little dome. And here's our card. Isn't that cute? I just love those mugs. For our next card, we're going to make a slimline card. So my card base folded is 8.5 by 3.5, and we do actually sell now pre-cut and pre-scored card bases, and we have a set of Slimline. They're made out of our 110-pound white ice rink cardstock, so they're super sturdy and perfect for your nice weight card bases. I've used our Sympathy Slimline dies to cut out this nice scalloped rectangle that has an inner stitched feature there, and we're going to layer that on top of the card front. I love how it fits nicely on the front of that card with a nice white border around the edges. Next, I've cut 3 stitched circles out of this beautiful green glitter paper, and we're going to glue these onto our card base. So here is our card so far. I love that sparkly glitter paper. Now we're ready to add our mugs, and I've added some foam adhesive to the back of each one of them. I'm going to put Santa here in the center. Got our Nutcracker down here at the bottom, and our adorable reindeer up at the top. Now the stamp set also includes some fun little added things. We've got marshmallows, whipped cream, candy canes, peppermint sticks. So I've got a candy cane here, and I just kind of cut the bottom off the candy cane because I'm going to glue it to our Nutcracker like it's coming out of the inside of the mug. So Santa is going to get some marshmallows. And I've got a peppermint stick for the reindeer. And here is our card. Hold it at an angle to get it in the shot. But I think that came out super cute. I love the little added pieces to the mugs that gives them just that much more character. I don't have much room for a sentiment here on the outside, and it really doesn't need it. The card is just completely full and finished. So I stamped the sentiment, sugar and spice makes holidays nice. And I've just layered it with some of that green glitter paper that we used on the front of the card. I've added some of our easy tear tape to the back so that I can just add that down here on the inside of my card. And now we're done. I love it. For our last card, I've got another A2 side folding card base. From the Be Merry paper pad, I've cut one of our stitched arches, and we're going to glue that down to the card front. I've got a couple of layers to add towards the bottom of this stitched arch piece. I've got a white cardstock that's slightly wider than this strip of stripe paper. I've got a strip of beautiful green glitter paper I'm going to put across here. And then I've stamped our sentiment, "You warm my heart," and I'm going to put that across the glitter paper. We're going to glue those down, and then I've got a heart cut out of this starry blue paper, and that's going to be the place that our adorable little penguin mug is going to lay. So let's glue down some of these pieces. And you may ask, why the white cardstock? Why the extra piece? It makes a huge difference to break up the two pattern papers, to layer in between your pattern papers. So now we're going to add our strip with the sentiment and the green glitter paper. Now we're ready to add our little blue heart, and I'm going to have it stay within the confines of the card, but come off of this stitched arch piece. Now we'll add this adorable penguin mug. I've added some foam adhesive to the back, so it kind of pops off the card just a bit. There we go. And here's our final card. I think they came out super sweet. Super simple too. These are not difficult cards to make. We're just putting different papers and shapes together and creating adorable cards. Thanks again for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed these cards we've created with the Mugs and Kisses stamps and dies. These adorable mugs will help you create some super cute and heartwarming cards for the holidays. You can find them and more at pinkandmane.com or ask your local retailer. Until next time, my friends, keep living the creative life.